it is the beginning of May, and in Sweden that apparently means that you clean up the twigs and branches from your land, your property, and you burn them. There we go. That way I can tighten them up later when the branches are on. Let's continue doing this. Here in Sweden, in the beginning of May, it's a tradition to clean the twigs and the branches from the land and burn them as a way of starting the spring and ending the winter. And that seemed to me like a good idea to reflect on winter a little bit and reflect on the lifestyle that the big lifestyle change that this winter brought for me, for us. We moved to the middle of the forest with no experience in this kind of life in November, right before the winter started, which is probably worst time to go to a place like this. And now we made it through the first winter, and we had some hard times. I remember my video that what it's really like in the forest or something, with the annoyingly loud violin on the background. At that time I was feeling it. I was getting depressed, and it was the weather, it was the lack of funds, it was the lack of experience. We had no idea what we were doing. I didn't know if I could provide for this lifestyle in the first place. So that was a really difficult time. And now when summer is coming, and everything is starting to be green again, I wonder if the weather or the short amount of daylight played a part in that. It probably did. But also the not knowing and as I said, the lack of experience of this whole kind of life. It was a difficult time, but we started in the most difficult time you can start something like this, which was right before winter. We had no firewood. We had 1 cubic meter of firewood, which means we had to spend almost €1,000 over the course of the winter on pellets to keep the house warm. And when I say keep the house warm, I'm talking about 12 degrees to 15 degrees. In the beginning 15, but in the end we had it at 12. And in the morning it was like 6 degrees Celsius. I'm talking about for the people in the US. I know there's some people looking at it. So it was really, we had it cold, and that doesn't help either. And now it's getting better, and now I'm starting to see again why we were doing this, why we started doing this, because this is such an amazing way of living this close to nature. When I was still just being an entrepreneur and living for the money and the gains and the all those kind of things, you always want more, and that's the life, the city life, or the in society life. And now I'm feeling the balance between two, because I have a job in an office, and I come home to this, which is a huge contrast. And now I'm really starting to see the difference. And people used to live like this. This was the norm, and now the norm is to work your 9 to 5 and do it like that, which is, there's nothing wrong with it. But maybe there is. I don't know what I want to do with this channel, with the messages that I want to tell myself, for the world, or something. I don't know. I don't know. Right now you hear the airplanes flying over, because there's a huge military training in this area in the south of Sweden. And that makes me realize the kind of world we're living in at the moment. I think and maybe it's very political, and maybe I shouldn't even talk about this, but I think we are closer to war than we think. This life as we know it could have an end date, and it could be closer than we realize sometimes. And I think right now, oh, look at that. There's a little squirrel. Okay, awesome. I'm sorry. Hey, son. Hey, son. What I was saying is that with all the things that are going on in the world right now, maybe it's not such a bad idea to think about how you want to live and how you should live, and what you can do to, I don't want to say prepare. Yeah, prepare. I'm gonna say it, yeah. So, maybe this channel inspires other people to do the same a little bit, to get out of that, and I'm not saying quit your job, please don't. But I'm saying have something as a backup. And for us that means growing our own vegetables, living in the forest, knowing what you can get from nature, how you can survive without when the electricity goes down, all those things. And maybe that's something that I want to show with this channel, or want to inspire with this channel. There is another way too. And it doesn't have to be an alternative, it could be a substitute. Like an insurance plan or something. And that's a little bit how with what reason I'm building this whole thing. People sometimes ask me like, why are you doing this when you still have an office job or something like that? Well, it's a little bit like that for me. It's an insurance. I like to have the knowledge of how to do it without all that fancy stuff. And when times get easy, people get soft. And I think we're getting a little bit soft, but we're also forgetting about the knowledge that makes us human. Like the being close to nature. And I really had the feeling that I needed to be closer to nature, and it's kind of cool to show people how I'm doing that, how we are doing that. So that's the plan of this channel. And I hope people enjoy it a little bit. I want to show people that you can do it without money, without a plan, as long as you have the willpower and you stick to it. Well, maybe you need a little bit of a plan, but it usually doesn't work out. But it's good to have some sort of direction. Well, I'm testing it. See this whole channel as an experiment of me testing it. I've tested a lot of stuff in the past, business-wise, health and fitness-wise. I've tested it all, and most of it didn't work, and some of it did work really well, and that got me this far, and that got me at this point. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna keep testing and keep trying, and if you keep trying long enough, something's gonna work out at some point, and you're gonna end up somewhere, and the direction in which you try, that's where you're gonna end up in the end. And people quit all the time, or even worse, they don't even try. And if you don't try, then you're not gonna get anywhere. So if you want to go from point A to point B, you're not just gonna go to point B. You're gonna try stuff that gets you to point B until you get a little bit closer, and you keep doing that until you're there, or maybe end up somewhere better, because that's usually what happens. Because when you're in point A, you think point B looks great, but when you're there, it usually doesn't. So aim for where you want to go and experiment as much as you need, as much as you, to get you one step closer every time. That's all you need to do. And if you keep doing that, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get somewhere. And I am now at a point in my life that I am at a completely different place than if you would ask 12-year-old Mark where he wanted to be. And it's so much better. So I hope to inspire people a little bit with this channel to do whatever their point B is, but to just go for it and just mess up along the way as much as possible until you get somewhere. That would be really cool. If that's the outcome of this whole YouTube experiment, which is also just me trying something. I have no idea what I'm doing, I'm just going with it. But if that would be an outcome of this, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, tag along, follow along, or just drop in every once in a while, and I'm gonna keep experimenting, and I hope you like some of it, and maybe some of it is not for you. Well, then look at something else. Maybe it's for someone else. And maybe it's just for me. I don't know. But you're welcome to follow us along on this adventure. And see if this is an experiment that will... Well, the experiment already is a success. The outcome is unknown still, but I think this, in my opinion, this experiment is already a success. It taught me so much, it is teaching me so much, and I'm getting so much closer to nature. So, yeah, in that, it is a success. It has an outcome, so it is a success. And now I just want to see where it takes me. So tag along and join me on this adventure. Join us on this adventure. And if you want to know things or see things, then put it in the comments. Then let us know also, because I don't know what you guys think is interesting to see. I'm just putting it out there because I think it's interesting to see. But let me know. Okay, see you soon. Thanks for watching, and this was my winter reflection. See you next time. Hey do!